see a lot of fans right now.
스탠퍼드 대학교 다니시는 분 계세요?
And I heard Stanford has a lot of famous university. Do any of you guys go to Stanford?
너무 행복했습니다. Love you guys.
Please get them safely.
Stanford Stadium transformed into something almost indescribable. The screams of thousands of fans rolled in like a relentless wave. Cameras trembled in their hands, and the air felt like it was holding its breath. That night wasn't just a concert, but a moment the world had been waiting for, as BTS kicked off their Arirang World Tour in America on May 16, 2026, and all eyes seemed to be on one name that never failed to steal the show. Amidst that sea of lights and anticipation, the stage finally opened with a thump of music that made the ground tremble. The cheers grew louder as each member appeared, but there was a distinct energy that spread immediately when Jungkook stepped onto the stage. His black leathers reflected the stadium lights, creating an aura that was not only charismatic but also almost magnetic, drawing all eyes to him effortlessly. From the soundcheck, the night had felt unusual. During the preparations, Jungkook performed a spontaneous act that immediately became a topic of conversation. He caught a drone that was hovering too close to the stage. His movements were swift, precise, but still accompanied by a small smile, as if it were nothing special. The audience, watching from a distance, erupted in cheers, as if they had just witnessed a scene from a movie they never expected. On the other side of the stage, Jimin attempted a humorous moment with a spontaneous challenge he threw at Jungkook. The challenge, accompanied by a half-joke and somewhat wild energy, ended with Jungkook deftly dodging it with laughter. This small interaction immediately became a highlight for the audience, who felt like they were witnessing a conversation between old friends in the midst of a grand concert. Not far away, V, or Taeyong, became another equally powerful visual energy center. Every wink and wave toward the audience sent a subtle electric current through the stadium. The camera repeatedly captured his calm, yet intense expression, making the audience feel as if he were communicating directly with each individual there. The audience's emotional wave that night was unsteady, not because it was chaotic, but because there was so much beautiful happening at once. From cheers to tears to laughter all mixed together, Stanford Stadium transformed into a collective space filled with the purest human energy, unbridled joy. As the concert officially began, each song felt like a new explosion. The precise choreography, vocals that filled the stadium's farthest corners, and the small interactions between the members made every moment feel alive. But amidst it all, Jungkook remained the undeniable center of gravity. There was a moment when he paused mid-song, gazing out at the audience with a gentle expression. He then approached the front of the stage, making sure the small fans in the area were working properly. That simple gesture, ensuring fans weren't cold, immediately caused the stadium to erupt again, this time not just for the music, but for the palpable warmth. But the first night was just the beginning of something bigger. On May 17, 2026, the second night of the Arirang World Tour, the atmosphere heated up again from the start. This time, Jungkook took the microphone with a slightly serious expression but still a smile, before making an unexpected request to the audience. He asked fans to put down their phones for a moment, to be truly present in the moment, not just through a screen. The request was delivered jokingly, but with a sincerity that left many speechless. It was as if he wasn't just performing, but also reminding everyone of the true meaning of togetherness. The audience's reaction was mixed. Some laughed, some raised their phones higher as if to bid a final farewell to their screens, and still others lowered them completely, trying to experience the concert without digital boundaries. The moment became a major conversation among fans, as it felt like a personal message from the stage. Meanwhile, RM, Jimin, and V had also been seen making similar gestures several times in previous concerts. It was as if the entire group shared a common understanding. that this world tour wasn't just about the show, but about an experience that should be truly felt, not simply recorded. As the night progressed, the energy of the concert deepened. Song after song wasn't just sung, but felt. There was a subtle shift in the way the audience interacted. More eyes were directly on the stage, fewer screens were raised, and more hearts were truly present. The emotional climax came when Jungkook once again showed his softer side during the performance. He glanced at the audience, who seemed to be shivering from the stadium's night breeze, and made a small gesture as if to reassure them that everything was okay. It was a simple moment, but that's precisely what made it feel so human amidst the grandeur of the stage. As the second night drew to a close, the atmosphere in the stadium had already transformed into a mixture of euphoria and emotion. The audience knew they had just experienced something hard to repeat, a night filled not only with music, but also with deeply personal interactions. But the story wasn't over yet, as there was still a third night scheduled for May 19th, 2026. Anticipation was already palpable even before the previous concert had truly concluded, as the entire stadium held its breath for the next act. Beneath all the cheers and lights, the Arirang World Tour was beginning to reveal its true face, not just about the grand scale and grandiose production, but about the connection built between stage and audience, between idols and those who came to experience something real. And amidst it all, Jungkook remained the center of the story. Not because he shone the loudest, but because every action, no matter how small, left an unforgettable mark. Outside the stadium, the media began buzzing about the first 2 nights of the Arirang World Tour. It wasn't just about the scale of the production or the grandiose setlist, but about how every small interaction on stage felt so personal, as if the distance between artist and audience had temporarily disappeared. Across various platforms, footage of Jungkook capturing drone footage, his quick jokes with Jimin, and the moment when he ensured the comfort of fans in the front area of the stage were replayed over and over again. Each clip seemed to reinforce one point. This concert wasn't just a show, but an emotional experience that was hard to describe. Meanwhile, backstage, the atmosphere was much calmer, yet still intense. The BTS members were seen chatting briefly, offering support, and preparing for the long-awaited third night. There was exhaustion, but also a passion that never truly faded. RM was seen checking on small production details several times while discussing with the team, ensuring everything was running perfectly. His calm demeanor provided a balance amidst the intense energy flowing from outside the stadium. Jimin, on the other hand, maintained a light-hearted atmosphere with a few brief jokes backstage, as if keeping the tension from turning into pressure. The occasional chuckle served as a reminder that beneath the grandeur of the concert, they were still ordinary people who supported each other. V remained mostly silent, but his gaze revealed something profound. He repeatedly reviewed the short footage from the previous night, as if recalling every audience reaction still vividly etched in his mind. Meanwhile, Jungkook seemed quieter than usual. He didn't say much, but his expression conveyed complete focus. The third night felt like the conclusion of something big, and he seemed to understand that every small step on stage would become part of a long-lasting memory for many. When May 19th, 2026 finally arrived, Stanford Stadium was once again transformed into a sea of lights. But this time, there was a different feel, as if everyone in attendance had known it would be an emotional night from the start. The cheers were deeper, more hopeful, and heavier. As soon as the concert began, the energy exploded, just like the previous 2 nights, but with a noticeably more mature intensity. Each song seemed to carry a new layer of meaning, especially for the audience who had been following the show since day one. During one encore, the entire stadium began singing along without prompting, creating a wave of sound that made the stage feel like it disappeared into a sea of people. The BTS members stood silently for a moment, allowing the moment to flow uninterrupted. Jungkook then stepped to the front of the stage, looking out at the thousands of people who had stayed until the last second. He smiled a small smile, not a big, cheering smile, but a quieter one, as if remembering every face, every scream, and every second they had just spent together. As the stadium lights slowly dimmed, the lingering energy only grew stronger. The Arirang World Tour at Stanford left behind memories not just of a magnificent concert, but also of a connection formed between the stage and the audience, one that may never truly fade. And as BTS's name echoed around the world again after those 3 nights, one thing became clear beyond explanation. This wasn't just a world tour, but a series of moments that would live on in the memories of many long after the stadium lights had finally gone down.